Line 1, towards on.
Hey everyone, it is Thursday, January 12th. The time is 4:20 p.m. and the temperature outside is around 3 degrees Celsius. As my camera struggles to flip back around, and I'm here at Wellesley Station, where you'll notice there's an unusual amount of people on the platform waiting for a northbound train. And there's some transit constables just on the platform over there I walked past earlier, as apparently there was a security incident at this station. And that led to delays, which slowed down my arrival by about 25 minutes. I got on the train at Eglinton and had to sit on it without it moving anywhere for about 15 minutes. And then when we got to St. Clair, we had to get off and change to another train. And apparently the service was only to go with South as Yonge, but they've just reopened things. And here is Wellesley Street. And in this one, I'm just going to walk over to Yonge, and then I'll head southbound to Carlton Street. And I plan on walking east along Carlton and heading into Cabbagetown. Maybe I'll finish up somewhere around Riverdale Park. I think a lot of these people might have been kicked off of the subway at College Station, and they just decided to walk north up to Yonge. So this is southbound the east side of Yonge Street. And the fog seems to have cleared up a bit. Earlier in the day, it was extremely foggy. I couldn't see a whole lot looking out the windows of my apartment. Carlton Street is just a few blocks south of here, and that's where I'll be turning left. And this is Grosvenor Street on the right and Alexander Street on the left. And in here on the left used to be a Wendy's. And that recently closed down as this whole block is up for redevelopment. There'll be a pair of 75 and 78 story towers. So the never-ending transformation of Yonge Street continues. And this second cup here was a great location. It was large, they had lots of comfortable seating. Not unlike the one up at Yonge and Charles. And that one also recently closed. And here's where Carlton Street begins, as well as College on the other side. I think these people are waiting for the 506 Carlton streetcar. So this is walking east along the north side of Carlton Street. And I was just reading that sunset is now after 5 p.m. So the days are getting longer. On the left, there's Imagine Cinemas, formerly Cineplex Odeon Carlton Cinemas. It says there are $7 Tuesdays. And I think movie tickets will run you about $7.50 on other days. And just like its counterpart down at Market Square, they have these glorious leather reclining chairs. I paid $25 last night to see Avatar at a 3D IMAX theater. I think that'll be the last time I pay that kind of money for a movie. I'll start going back to Imagine. And on the left here is the old Maple Leaf Gardens. And that building dates back to 1931, the former home of the Toronto Maple Leafs. As well as the first ever NBA game in 1946 between the Toronto Huskies and the New York Knickerbockers. And the Maple Leafs moved into the Air Canada Centre back in '99. And the Toronto Raptors followed suit a day later. They were playing in the Skydome. And in 2004, this property was bought by Loblaws. It's been turned into a skating rink for Toronto Metro University. And there's also a Loblaws supermarket. And across the street where that Expectation is, used to be a Golden Griddle. That was a fantastic 24-hour diner. I'd always get the chocolate pancakes there. That shut down in 2019. And here's Church Street. There's the entrance to the supermarket. There's also a few smaller retailers in there as well. And just to the north of Huron Church, you'll find the Church Wellesley Village. So this is on the east side of downtown. There's a post with Toronto Metropolitan University on it. Most, if not all, the university is located south of here. Speaking of south, there's the infamous Oasis Aqua Lounge. I don't think they'd be too happy if I brought my camera in there. That's certainly one of the more curious spots in the city. There's a French school on the left. And on the right is the old Primrose Hotel. And that was purchased by what was then Ryerson University, now TMU. And it's been turned into a student facility with mostly housing. And this is Jarvis Street. I think we've all done that at some point in time. Those are two similarly dressed dogs. Sadly, that's not a very uncommon sight. And this is the north end of an area dubbed the Garden District, named after the Allen Gardens just to the south of here. That's one of the oldest parks in the city. And it is home to those botanical gardens. And I'll have to go through there someday on a video. I think it's open from 12 to 4, 7 days a week. And I know this place well on the left because I have a friend who lives in this apartment complex. His unit faces that way, but it's quite high up. It's an absolutely amazing view of the skyline. And next up is Sherbourne Street, and once I pass that, we'll be in Cabbagetown. 506 Carlton Street car has Hyde Park as the destination. That's the western terminus of that line. But it'll be taking a number of detours to get there. And it looks like there's a pretty good sized encampment in the Allen Gardens right now. And here's Sherbourne Street. Which fortunately features some pretty good and well executed bike lanes. There's the Cabbagetown South Indian restaurant, authentic Indian, Pakistani, Chinese, Canadian, and Mexican. It doesn't look particularly inviting. If you've ever wondered what a cannabis shop can look like, looks like this one specializes in just selling that one particular brand though. Cabbagetown is known for its vast collection of old Victorian-style homes. Many of which on Carlton here have been converted into commercial spaces. Revelstoke. I thought that used to be a bar called the Irv. I wonder if that's completely changed hands or not. That was a great spot. And I remember the owner made an appearance in some articles during the pandemic, saying that the restrictions had made things particularly tough for them and a lot of businesses like it, and they weren't getting a fair amount of support from the government. So it's very likely he wasn't just crying wolf. It's kind of an interesting property. We're a street with mostly 1800s era Victorian homes. And there is Stout across the street. That place is a staple of this neighborhood. I couldn't figure out what that proposed changes to that lot based on that sign. And here's Parliament Street. And just south of here is Gerrard Street. That's where Cabbagetown comes to an end, at least on the east side of Parliament over there. And the Regent Park neighborhood will begin on the south side of Gerrard. The Golden Pigeon Dry January is canceled. I have no idea what that's referencing. Okay, I guess we walk on the left now. There is Aura straight ahead. And that is at Gerrard and Yonge Street, where I was earlier. All right, so I'll go left here at Gerrard. And we'll go finish up at Riverdale Park. Oh, just on the right is Regent Park. And that was a social housing project developed after the Second World War. And prior to that, it was an area that was often referred to as slums. I don't know how politically correct that term is these days. So a plan was made to reform the area. We'll take this. Looks like a winter style store. And these buildings first opened up in 1949, and more were added throughout the 60s. But a lot of the problems that faced the area prior to the development of these buildings came back. That was also at a time when the automobile was starting to take over, and there was a large flight out to the suburbs. And it kind of devolved further since then, and it's gotten to the point where the city has hatched a plan to redevelop it once more. So you can see those glass towers to the south. Those are some of the newer buildings. And they're currently in phase 3 of the redevelopment. And there'll be 2 more phases after that. And that's when we'll see the last of these buildings go down. I think I'll have to go back and do an updated walk around Regent Park in the near future. And just take a look at what's changed. I've always found this to be a very un-Cabbage-like, or Cabbagetown-like street. Gerrard Street. It is lacking in those Victorian homes. And before these buildings, these were mostly Victorian homes. Although they had fallen into such a state of disrepair, there really wasn't a movement to save them. This is Nasmith Avenue. So I'm getting almost to the eastern edge of downtown. That's right at the Don Valley, which is just up ahead. Here is Sumach Street. Let's head north here and take a quick peek. At the residential area in Cabbagetown, or one of them. And I'll make my way over to Riverdale Park West, and I think that's where we'll finish up. And this old church has been converted to a Toronto Kiwanis Boys and Girls Clubs. This is Spruce Street. I got drawn this way by these Christmas lights. And this is Riverdale Park West. It's a popular tobogganing spot along both sides of Riverdale Park. But we haven't really had enough snow sticking around this year to have more than a couple of days. And that would be even worth doing. And there's a farm that's open to the public straight ahead. Last year there was a goat stolen from there. There's also the Toronto Necropolis just north of that. And we'll finish up with a view of Bayview Avenue and the Don Valley Expressway off in the distance. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one, starting at Wellesley Station, walking south to Carlton Street, then east over to Parliament, and south down to Gerrard, and finding my way up through Cabbagetown to here at Riverdale Park West. There's a friendly doggy. Hello. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and I have a TikTok account at Johnny Strides as well. And there is a super thanks button appearing below the videos if you wish to say thanks that way. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink.